All right, so I've been on a sort of a raw food diet for most of the summer so far. I would say it's not been completely raw because I have seared my fish, which I barely sear it, just enough to make sure that it's safe. But in my opinion, you can eat raw fish on a raw diet because it's raw. So yeah, I do that. So today I'm going to be making this. This is a kale salad. Now, kale is not very appetizing to eat raw, obviously. We all know that. But I got this nice big bag of organic kale, right? Because I saw it sitting there and I was like, oh, what can I do with that to eat it raw? So I'm going to show you how you can process your kale so that you can eat it raw. So first, I'm going to start with a piece of garbage. Okay, this I try to reuse. This is garbage, plastic garbage. All of this plastic garbage, if I can reuse it, I do, because we're drowning in our own garbage and the ocean is being choked from just infinite amounts of plastic there. So all the things that have plastic, I try to reuse. So this is one of the things that I use. I just put my salads in here after I make them, or my sauteed vegetables, because what I'm about to show you is the same process you can use for vegetables that you normally would cook, like green beans and asparagus. You can also do the same process with those vegetables as well. And you can do the same process with fish as well, to kill bacteria and to eat the fish raw. So first I'm just gonna dump my kale in here. All right, got a nice big container of kale here. So now we got the nice big kale. And the next thing I'm going to do is chop a red onion. Now, I'm chopping a red onion with this. This is a safety knife that you get for children. And the reason I'm using this child's knife is because we have a big problem in our society with metal toxicity. Okay, all of the stainless steel products that we use and the metal knives and things all contain nickel, as well as aluminum, and that causes problems with the brain. Nickel collects in your if you're a male, in your prostate, if you're a female, in your ovaries, and it can cause cancer. So you want to minimize your exposure to metals as much as possible. So I don't eat with any metal utensils or use any metal utensils to chop with, and I try to buy foods that weren't processed, because there's a lot of metal that goes into the processing. This is a processed food here. This is sauerkraut. And I'm sure they chop that with a lot of metal slicing, but whatever. I do the best I can. So I'm gonna chop my red onion with this. Now it's not like chopping with a metal knife, obviously, but it does chop and it does slice. And if I had taken the skin off of this onion, it would have been much easier too, but I didn't. So there, see? I chopped some red onion with a plastic knife. It can be done. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right. So I got my onions in with the kale. Nice, sweet, delicious red onions, filled with antioxidants, by the way. Speaking of antioxidants, I got some garlic here and some ginger. Sorry, the light's kind of weird. I'm outside. All right, so the ginger, again, using a plastic spoon, I'm just going to peel this skin off the ginger, because the skin on the ginger has high levels of something called malonic acid, and the malonic acid is toxic, especially to your kidneys. Most commercial beverages, especially commercial orange juice and all tomatoes, have high levels of malonic acid. So if you have any kind of kidney issue, or if you know anyone who does, they might want to limit their exposure to malonic acid. And you can find malonic acid, the list, on Google. So I'm just going to slice this ginger with my plastic knife. It's more of a slice and crush type of action because this is a plastic knife. But I love my plastic knife because I know I'm doing something good for my health. So I don't mind the sacrifice. All right. I'm just going to mince this up really nice and small. You know, this is really spicy right here, so you don't want a big hunk of chunk of ginger or garlic or onion, for that matter, in your mouth. But in small pieces, it's delightful. All right, so then we got our garlic, and again, I'm just gonna mince this up with my plastic knife. looks good. Of course, I'm not giving you amounts here because this is a raw dish, and you pretty much what I do is just grab whatever I have available that's raw. As much or as little as you want. When you start making raw dishes, you will find that it's really quite nice because it does save time on cooking. It seems like a lot of effort at first because you're chopping a lot, but actually you end up saving time on cooking and storing stuff and everything because you have to eat stuff up. All right, so the next one is going to be raw sunflower seeds. And this will give you the crunch, the protein, you know, the nice meaty type of vibe that you want going on, the minerals, the magnesium, calcium, even though you'll find all the minerals in the kale as well. But the sunflower seeds just beef it up a little. Okay, so the next seeds I'm going to put in are chai seeds, organic chai seeds. And I'm doing that because it helps to create like a gel. So it, you know, because this is going to actually ferment for like 3 days in the fridge, and the seeds help to create like sort of like a gel, like help it like stick together like and stuff. So get some chai seeds on there. All right. Now this here it's called wild brine, and this is a wonderful, I love wild brine because this is a fermented product that we should all be eating. Fermented products. The Asian people eat a lot of kimchi and fermented products because it's just feeding your body probiotic bacteria that it needs. Your body can't get enough probiotic bacteria. Your digestive tract cannot get enough probiotic bacteria. You can't overdose on it. So I'm going to put some of this wild brine sauerkraut into the salad so that it can add those cultures to the salad. And then I'm going to let this sit out for a day at room temperature so that the bacteria can blossom and grow inside of the salad. Plastic spoon. Get a bit of kraut on there and pour some of the juice in. The juice is my favorite part because, I mean, sure, you can use vinegar, anything acidic. And so I'm just going to move on to the acidity part. When you're dealing with vegetables that normally are not palatable raw, you have to use high levels of acidity in order to break down the cell walls in those vegetables and make those vegetables palatable. So you can use vinegar, you can use lemon juice, you can use citric acid or ascorbic acid to achieve that breakdown of the heavy cellulose. And it also helps to break down some of the plant's defenses, because the reason that plants are not edible raw is because they have anti-nutrients in them that are designed to protect them from pests and from other animals who want to eat them, and including us. So we don't want to just grab some kinds of vegetables like cabbage. You want to ferment that first, and same thing with kale. It's a very hearty, very nutrient dense, powerful vegetable, but you don't want to be eating it raw. Same thing with broccoli. Basically like most of the vegetables except for cucumber and lettuce. I mean, you can eat those raw all day. All right, so we got some vinegar from here. Now this vinegar is alive with cultures because this is a raw kraut. Now you can buy sauerkraut in the can that's been cooked and heated, and it's not going to have the cultures in it. This has live, raw, probiotic cultures in it. And now so does this. Okay, so we did that. I'm going to get my lemon ready. Lemon, again, is the acidity that you need to break down this kale so that you can eat it. So I'm going to use my plastic knife and just go ahead and squirt that in there. And if you get the seeds in there, those are good to eat. Okay, so the seeds won't hurt you. Lemon seeds won't hurt you. And this is going to break down everything that's in here, because as you can see, none of this stuff are things that you would want to really eat raw, except maybe the sunflower seeds if you're a hardcore type of person. But those aren't even all that fun to eat raw, let's face it. Ginger's not fun to eat raw. Garlic's not fun to eat raw. So this lemon and this vinegar is going to break all this stuff down. The onion, you know, nobody just sits there and eats raw onion. Oh yeah, it's delicious. You know, nobody does that. Even though I did see my grandmother grab a raw onion one time and just bite into it like an apple. I was so impressed. I was like, no, you didn't just do that. But she did. Okay, so the last thing I have here is a cucumber. And this cucumber, for some ridiculous reason, is wrapped in plastic. Whenever you find vegetables that are wrapped in plastic at the store, that's going to make the vegetable degrade faster. It's actually not keeping it fresh. It's actually causing a more rapid decay of the food. And I hate when they wrap stuff in plastic. So, you know, take your plastic off as soon as you get home. And this, I will put a few slices in here. This is organic, nice English cucumber, those really long ones. And one cucumber lasts a long time. You will be surprised how far one cucumber will last you. Because they are kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it. So now we got that in there. And then the rest of this will be going on my eyes later on this evening when I'm relaxing. Okay, and the last but not least, I have this this is a lovely salad dressing that I use. It's called Mother Raw, and I had like 3 different flavors, but I pretty much used them up. But this one is the Mediterranean flavor, and it's Mother Raw. I highly recommend trying it because everything in here is raw. There's olive oil, there's sun-dried tomatoes, minced garlic, Kalamata olives, and so on and so forth, spices and things. And it's really good, and it is raw because you have to eat this up like within 7 days after you open it. So I put a lot in there. This is my flavoring. I put a half a bottle into here. And then I'm going to take, once again, a non-metal utensil, because I'm avoiding metal, and just stir it all together. Oh, you know what? I forgot the olive oil. I knew I was forgetting something. But you guys know what olive oil looks like, right? Olive oil is very important because this will not taste good without it. I use in this amount of kale, I will use a cup full of olive oil, which I'll do when I go in the house, and just pour that all over this whole thing. And it makes it really nice and easy to stir, and it gets slicky. And then I'm just going to put the lid on, right? And I'm just going to let this sit on the counter for overnight, just 1 day. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 2 more days, and then I'll start eating it. And this much salad will last me about 3 days eating it. Because it's just, I can't tell you, you know, you should feel better after you eat food, and you won't know what that's all about until you try eating raw organic food at least try it for a couple days or something, and you'll be amazed at your energy level and how much better you feel, and psychically and in every way. It clears you, it grounds you. It gives you, it unblocks you, it unblocks your energy. It's just magnificent. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been informative. And of course, if you have any comments or suggestions or anything, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and you will make my day. Thank you so much for watching.